Today we are reviewing the Netflix series Ginny and Georgia and also the Tell All book by Mathew Perry, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing.
Hi everyone, welcome to TalktousToday. I'm Namita.
And I'm Simrit. And today is the review segment of our show called Review Therapy. This is one of my favorite segments on Talk to Us Today. Because the one thing I like more than reading is discussing a book I've read. And everyone likes to discuss the latest shows they've been watching or the movie that they've watched. And earlier this was common as well. But now that there's so much content out there, people want to know what to skip, what to binge watch, what just to have on in the background. And that's where, Namita, you come in handy. So Namita's tips help us decide. And I've done it so many times. You're working out, you need a TV show on. There you go, the bow ties. You don't need too much. And it won't need you to look good, wear those clothes, serious watch, what to watch. So keep watching, go back and binge watch all our review therapies because she helps you decide what to watch. I think that's more popular. And my books are probably just for me and a few other bookaholics out there. Today I'm reviewing a very talked about book these days, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing.
Wow.
And the most of us have been the Friends generation, right? We've all loved binge watching enough of Friends before binge watching was a thing. And everyone loved Chandler, the goofy best friend who turned into the lover, into husband, and how he transitioned over the show, over the 10 years that they were on. But many of us didn't know how he was struggling with his addictions in real life. And now he's come out with this memoir, and that's what I'm reviewing today. So, but I'm going to put a stop on that. That's all you guys get right now.
My memoirs are always interesting, Simrit. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got you reading more, haven't I?
Yeah.
Guys, watch our book. It'll get you reading more.
Yeah, definitely.
But Namita, you're reviewing a Netflix series that I know nothing about. I've seen it on that space, so I'm excited to know about Ginny and Georgia. So let's start with you.
Yes, definitely. So, Ginny and Georgia is something, I would say I always enjoy teenage angle to any show for that matter, Maybe, I no matter how old I become, but I always be teenage by heart.
No, but I love it too. I love the young adult,
Exactly.
show. I mean, and the lingo keeps you feeling
exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I don't know. I just randomly started watching Ginny and Georgia. It's like, oh my God, after one episode, I never thought it's going to be like that. Wow. And the show is on Netflix, and it is a story about a mother and a daughter, how they, navigate through the challenges of their life, all those high school drama, which I always enjoy, along with those cat fights between the mother and the daughter, or I would say teenage and the parents, issues that keeps happening. And there more, I would not say there was some positive and negative both aspects of the whole, teenage and parents angle. So yeah, it's very interesting.
That's a very interesting time of life anyways, right?
Yes.
It's when our little babies become like these monsters.
It's a struggle, it's a struggle. No matter how good how friend you become, a good friend you are to your kids, but still somewhere there's always something missing. This always, I don't know. I'm gonna learn eventually, yeah. But yes.
I mean, weren't we sitting together when a friend of ours just a couple of days ago was saying, my daughter's telling me all this, and my instinct is to tell her, no, stop, no, you're not allowed. And yet I want to know everything, so I'm quietly going, okay, I get it.
Yes. Absolutely. So yes, there's a lot of those aspects there in this show from the mother's point of view. Right. So you'll see that. So one of the standout features of this Ginny and Georgia, it's very different approach to these family dynamics. It's not like the typical family, brother, sister, and everything is. No, it's definitely not like that. I would not give the spoilers of the whole this family background, but it will be very interesting to see how this kind of family structure is there. So the show follows with those, complex relationship with the mother and the daughter duo, Georgia, which is played by Brianna Hovey. That's a mother, and Ginny, played by Antonio Ventre, as they navigate through their life challenges together. So unlike any traditional portrayals of those perfect, cookie cutter families, Ginny Georgia is more about the complexities and imperfection. How
Oh,
you
nice.
deal with those characters, their struggles, their flaws, their secrets. Realistic and unrealistic. I would say there were a lot of things I felt very unrealistic, but
Okay.
more or less relatable. You
Okay.
would see that, yeah. So let's talk about the characters. So Ginny is a teenage, rebel with those flair of those witty comebacks. She's like banging. All of a sudden, some mood swing happens, and it's just gonna like, what just happened. And where this mother, Georgia, she's like, I would say, a layered personality, multi-layered
Okay.
personality. Yeah. So she would be like, you would be amazed as you keep watching the layers that scrape off,
She's a
and
great actress too.
she
She's a great
is
actress. All
amazing
her things.
actress. Yes, amazing actress.
Yeah, and she does
And
these mature roles really well. I've
oh
seen her
yes,
in a couple of.
yes, and
Yeah.
and if you were watching and the kind of banter between them, it feels so realistic. Oh my God, this is how it actually, argument between mother and a daughter. And there's also, you find a lot of comedy also while this is happening. How bullshit is this? Yeah, come on, at times you feel that, but everything together keeps you on your toes, and you would want to just keep watching what's going to happen next. So that is there.
It's a nice family drama between, like,
Yes,
yeah.
not typical family drama, but yes, there's a family drama. Beside all that, the supporting actors, I mean, they have done a tremendous job. From this next door neighbor, Ellen, with her endless conspiracy theories, and her daughter, Maxine. I mean, amazing acting done by her. She acted to be a gay, which she has been like, I'm a gay, I'm not finding a single girl for myself. Oh my God, my life is shit, my life is that. It's like somebody is just, you know, announcing and I'm telling, fine, oh, then I have a crush on this girl. Oh, do you think she is straight or she is like me? It's like the whole discussion, the whole school knows. This is the first time I've seen this thing so openly being, showed in any show for that matter. So I like,
Yeah,
wow. I mean, and it feels so cool and normal. There's nothing
very
wrong with
progressive,
that. It's
very normal. Yeah.
very normal. Yeah, the way and amazing acting done by her, and all the other characters. They have played a. I mean, the character development was very well done of each character. So, which
Yeah.
actually is very important. Any show that you watch, that is very important. And
That is,
also,
that is.
yeah, and also there's a romantic entanglement, like between this guy Marcus and this. I mean, very cute, handsome, and there's a charming hunter, a sweet uh, guy, and very idle. I would say he's an idle boyfriend if somebody wants to have. It's like that. Then there's a cute
Okay.
Ginny's brother Austin. So they're like very cute, confused. So this whole, love life of Ginny is like a roller coaster ride where, there's a time when the whole of her childhood, she had no friends. And all of a sudden she has so many friends.
How
And then
old is she when the show starts? How old
15,
is she? 15.
15,
And how many series are there?
two series.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they show her from 15 to like 17 or whatever it
Yes,
is.
yes. And then her
Nice.
and the kind of flashback and present that's amazing. The character building is happening in the flashback. How this whole and then it's coming back in the present. So it is connecting how what is how this behavior is there. You can actually find out how this has happened, why this person is like this sort of
I
thing.
get it.
So and so Ginny, like as I mentioned, there's no friends, and all of us so many friends, and there's so much of peer pressure. And then two guys. in love with her, and she's so confused, and she loves both of them. She wanted to have both of them, so she like which one to choose. So yeah, and then at a moment where, I mean, it was so tricky that she had none. Also, so that phase also came, and where a lot of things. So, and also the plot. I mean, it's like it throws us in, for a loop. Just like when you think you've got you've figured out something. Okay, oh, this is gonna happen. Bombshell drops, and everything changes, and that is like, oh my god, it's like what happened.
So
You
it's
said
good.
exactly, and even this second series ended. I was like, oh my God. And this is making me feel like, when would the third series come? When would the,
Okay, series.
it was later. I'm so much curious to know what would be the next thing that is going to happen. So it is like that. It's amazing. I mean, it's like you're into it whole time. And,
Right.
other than this whole thing, there is very important thing that has also been covered in this, the social issues. You know, the show is it's like the topics like racism or mental health or self acceptance and feminism. All these issues have been very nicely tackled, and with so much of sensitivity and authenticity. You can see it's
Great.
very well done. Yeah. So, and in a way, I would say it doesn't shy away from addressing the complexities and challenges of these issues. So it would be like, if somebody has this, it's practically shown, and how, as a person, or I would say, if a teenage has a is conscious about her body, right? So what she would want would be doing, like, I will not give more spoilers, but yeah, one character there where she's like, she feels like maybe she wants to have more skinny legs. she'll you know she'll tape around her legs below the jeans she's wearing. So it's like, and then uh, parents are getting divorced, child is going through so many things, and then friends are busy in their own life, and what exactly this person
Adult
is
content as well. It's a
that.
very, yeah, mature content.
Yes,
Not adult, but mature
yes,
content.
mature, and also doing
That's
it
when the enjoyment also comes, right? If it's just
right.
only you, like, you need to mix it up to make it a little more mature. That's why young adult and not kiddie stuff. Like, I get
Yes,
it. Yeah.
all these challenges and issues, I mean, they all add depth and, relevance to the show. So that is where you feel connected, and you feel like watching more and more of it, right? So that is what it's about. So I would say, it's a delightful mix of drama and comedy that, if you would just start watching, you would just don't want to stop. Like, it's a completely a binge
Nice.
watch. And all
Nice.
those witty characters or hilarious moments or unexpected, those plots and twists and drama, it's amazing to watch. Also, the way the social issues are being handled, I think, altogether mix of that, you would really want to know and learn from this show a lot. As we were discussing about the, mothers discussing, I mean, you would see a lot of those, the angle of a parent, of a mother, how to deal with a teenage daughter becoming a
So,
friend,
so moms of
sharing.
teenagers and preteens need to watch this for sure.
Yes,
Moms and
definitely,
dads. Moms
definitely.
and dads. More because the character is a mom. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of stupid moments as well, but those are like part of the show. But yeah, so I 4.5 stars from my side for the show.
Wow, that's pretty high.
Yes,
Yeah. So highly recommended.
yes, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Well, let's see what Simrit has to tell us. I mean, Simrit, I grew up watching Friends, and I love this show even today. And I love this character. And I'm very curious to know what you have to say about him, from this.
Also, friends, when we watch it today, it still feels fresh. I mean, we all know the dialogues, but it still seems
Yeah.
current. It doesn't seem to be. And so, yes, so we all love this. And I normally love to read fiction. But since I'm such a huge Friends fan, and I do like some memoirs, but today every Tom, Dick, and Harry's come out with a memoir, every actor, every cricketer, and I don't read those. I have to be honest. It's a shame to admit, but I haven't like even read Becoming, which is Michelle Obama's. I haven't read Steve Jobs, but because the friend's character seemed so relatable. So I
Yeah.
said, okay, let's pick it up. And I did pick it up. I mean, I like biographies, but memoirs are becoming a dime a dozen now.
Mm-hmm.
So I am really happy I picked up this book. As depressing and dark as his memoir is, I'm
Really?
glad I read it. It was, I learned so much about addiction and the mind of an addict from the book. And I said, fortunately, whereas my brother got really upset, why are you saying fortunately? But fortunately, I have no idea what goes on in their mind because I haven't experienced it firsthand, and we're lucky we haven't. But knowing that such a highly functioning actor could be struggling with so much depression, loneliness, addiction, it's eye opening. It's so revealing. And right from the start, so this book gets you because right from the start, he talks about being born to these this gorgeous couple who fell in love. They weren't made for each other, but they fell in love. They had him, and then the divorce happened when he was like really young. I think he was 4 or 5. I'm sorry, I read the book to know the more details. But then his mom was working. She was in. He's a Canadian. She was working for Justin Trudeau's father, who's Pierre Trudeau, who was the Prime Minister of Canada at that time. So she had this high-powered job. She marries this news journalist or news, like he was on the news in those days. So another half, and then they had kids. So he started like he was already being a little abandoned along the way. His
Oh,
father moved to LA. He was an actor. He was in Hollywood doing
he
stuff.
was staying with
So
he was staying with his father the whole
no, so he
time.
would go between both. He was with his
Okay.
mother most of the time, but he would go on in on the holidays and stuff. So he was sent on an airplane alone when he was even 5 years old with this big sign saying unaccompanied minor. Now, I remember when I
Wow.
used to travel and I'd see little kids traveling alone. And when you're a child and you're an idiot, I'm sorry, children, but you think, oh, wow, this is so exciting. A kid's getting to travel by. But he felt, and he was going to name this book Unaccompanied because he felt so abandoned, being shipped off in an airplane full of
Oh,
people,
that-
being so lonely. So his loneliness was almost from a very young age. He felt very, and his mom's in this high powered job, so he's always trying to please her. So his struggles were very real, and already like right from the start you're like your heart's sinking for this little kid who wants to make, and his parents love him, but they just growing up in the 60s and 70s, or in the 70s, I think he was just the 70s, sorry, and he was just being thrown around a lot, like they didn't
yeah.
mean to, but just how his situation goes. Then he talks about he was 13 or 14, and the first time he drinks alcohol in the backyard in Canada with his friends, and how he felt finally free of this pain, this gnawing in his heart that used to be there.
Oh,
And see, it's so
no.
it's so depressing. And then
I
he
mean,
comes to
I
LA.
just when did book came just now, like few years ago?
Yeah, I think 2023. I
Wow,
can just
remembering the feelings of that time, it's pretty, I mean, it's a pretty long time, right?
Oh, but it is because that's when he remembered 2022. But
Hmm.
that's when I mean, addicts have, he's been through therapy,
Okay.
he's been to so many rehabs. So they talk about the past. And obviously, the first time he drinks alcohol is like the first time you lose your virginity or so. You don't forget that feeling, like even if it's
Yeah.
good or bad, you don't forget it,
Okay.
right? So that got tied into, he doesn't forget the first time he flew on an airplane felt so bad. So these were traumatic or, experiences which made him, and then to become Chandler, right? Like he had some other roles along the way, but then to become this, and all along he struggled. He tried to stay clean for 2 years during Friends, but then and then he talks about his sex life, his love life, how when he was, he was with some very big actresses at the time. He was in love with Valerie Bertinelli,
Wow.
and he says, and he's quite candid. So he says, like, we kind of made out on this scene, we kissed, and we had some, but after that, she never talked, and my heart was broken. And
Oh,
she's a co-actor. And then, of course, he was dating Carrie Fisher's half sister when he was young, but I think it was alcohol or something. So he couldn't perform the act of sex, or so he became very nervous, and for 5 years, like till he was 22 or 23, he didn't even have sex, and he decided that that's my life, or whatever. I may be getting the facts a little bit wrong here, the date, the ages, but that's what he said. And then finally he realized that he's older, he's like whatever. And so then he dated Julia Roberts, Yasmin Bleeth,
Wow.
Rachel Dunn, Laura Graham. So he had all these actors, and obviously Julia Roberts' story is interesting because she kind of, through her people calling his people, they set up a date, and they said if there's a love scene with him, Julia Roberts would come to France, and or if they lost or something. And so he was really up there, and he was dating on, but all along he says he was, self-destructive in his relationships. Anytime somebody was getting so close that they were ready to take him to rehab, they were ready to help him help him with his he would drop them. He had this real issue of commitment. He just couldn't commit, and his main issue was that he wanted to please his mom all the time, and his mother. He doesn't blame his mother for anything, or his father. It's just the way that he grew up. All right, so it's a must read, and it's also very interesting because he has this money. He has so many people who love him, who are taking care of him even now while he's struggling, and trying to become clean. He is, it's a battle for him every day, and he has tons of money. He has this penthouse overlooking great view, lives in LA. But this line that he says, that he writes, which I have actually marked, and I wanted to read it on this thing, is on page 220 of this. And he says, this big horrible thing, this disease, this big horrible thing, addiction has ruined so much of my life, it's not funny. It's ruined relationships, it's ruined the day-to-day process of being me. I have a friend who doesn't have any money, lives in a rent-controlled apartment, never made it as an actor, has diabetes, is constantly worried about money, doesn't work. And I would trade places with him in a second.
Wow.
In fact, I would give up all the money, all the fame, all the stuff to live in a rent-controlled apartment. I'd trade being worried about money all the time to not have this disease, this addiction. So, of course, there will be critics who say, you don't know what it's like. Yeah. But it's powerful because the loneliness that's inside of it.
It's so hard to really even feel what they're feeling, when it's sometimes it's like we don't have access to that feeling. It's just that door is not open for us. Touch wood, we're so lucky. So
yes,
yeah,
you're right.
So it feels, I know at times we feel, from the outer side, we are not able to see things. We're not able to go deep inside what they're feeling. And we try to judge it like, it's yahan pe hota hai. It's right here, willpower, mentally.
You just need willpower.
Willpower, yeah, it's not that simple. Yeah.
He's written it. I would trade his, I wish this addiction wasn't there. He'll be clean, and all of a sudden something happens. It's tough. It's tough. So I think that definitely read the book. I loved it. I give it full thumbs up because I just think it is a brave book to read. And for me, I think it's worth reading. There you go. Take a look.
Wow, great.
But be warned, it's dark and depressing, just like I mentioned.
Yeah, great. Well, I'm always scared to read books. I always read to feel good, So yeah, but you mentioned, I love this actor. I would really want to know more. So I will definitely give it a shot, Simrit. Well, yeah. Okay, that's all on Talk today. Hope you enjoyed our review therapy segment today. Please tell us what you like about our show, or you liked about this show, or our review therapy segment, or Shiro segment, or any other episodes. Do let us know in the comment section, or email us at hello@talktoustoday.com, and let your friends know where to find us.
And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m. Guys, that's Indian Standard Time, and please do come watch us, subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to follow our podcast on Spotify. It's under the same name, Talk to Us Today, and you'll find all our new and old episodes there. So don't forget to follow us there as well. Thank you for joining us on Talk to Us Today. Remember to talk about Talk to Us Today. Yeah. Keep smiling, keep
laughing, keep talking, keep reading, keep watching.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.